Hello everybody, I'm WCR. We're here at the Scott Smith All Animal Expo in beautiful Wheaton, Illinois. Me and Speckles here hanging out a little bit, and today we're going to be interviewing Speckles' owner and one of the Midwest's breeders of crested geckos as well as other geckos, Mr. Wally Kern.
How are you doing? Doing good.
Good to see you. Wally, the one thing that we always do when we conduct these interviews is we want to know what got you interested in breeding the geckos.
Oh my. We can go back about 100 years when I was a kid and talk about tadpoles and goldfish and keeping bluegills in a 10-gallon tank when I used to fish on my lake. More recently, though, I used to keep tropical fish. Had lots and lots of tropical fish and just love to see them breed and the babies and caring for the babies. 100 tanks of tropical fish. And with the kids, when they were young, I had to make a decision between keeping fish and doing it for a living or caring for the family. So I dropped all of the fish and took care of the family and haven't regretted it since. But because of that, I've always had that itch to keep animals, keep something. So about 10 years ago, I visited a friend in California that had Jackson chameleons, and I thought that was really cool. So started with Jackson chameleons and Vale chameleons, and it just kind of worked its way into geckos.
Awesome, awesome. Now, the name, Supreme Gecko, where does it come from?
Well, I wanted something unique to quality, but also referring back to the geckos, because by the time I started up the business, I was still keeping the chameleons, but I was really, really into the leopard geckos and the crested geckos and Australian geckos, so it just seemed to fit. Supreme for quality, and that kind of guides us every single day that we do this. Have the highest quality animals that we can.
Now, this crested gecko is a celebrity in himself, correct?
Yes, he is.
What's his name?
This is Speckles. And obviously Speckles from the Dalmatian spots.
And you do a feature with Speckles. What's that feature you do?
We take pictures of people holding Speckles at the show. And we take those pictures and put them on a webpage. Who's holding Speckles?
Okay, Wally, I got a question for you, and I know you know where this one's going to come from, but I got to ask you so people get to know you a little bit better as well. Blackhawks hat. Are you a huge Blackhawks fan?
I'm a huge Blackhawks fan. Let's go back 100 years ago when I was a kid. I used to take a transistor radio to bed with me and hope that the battery would hold out for the whole game, and listen to Lloyd Pennant announce the Chicago Blackhawks. Bobby Hall, Dennis Hall, the whole gang. So yes, I'm a huge Blackhawks fan.
And now that we have the Stanley Cup, you think we can bring it back?
We're bringing it back, no question about it.
Now, if people want to get a hold of you for more questions or answers on the gecko lines, you have what? Crested geckos, leopard geckos, gargoyle geckos,
Chihuahua geckos, day geckos. I'm branching off into the Australian geckos. The crested geckos and leopard geckos, they're my primary animals that I'm working with right now, but you know, you have to keep it fun and you have to keep it exciting. I love the colors of those animals, but we also love working with the day geckos and Australian geckos as well.
Wonderful. So now if somebody's interested in purchasing one of these beautiful animals or in getting more information, how would they be able to get a hold of you?
Well, they can certainly see me at a show. I do the Wheaton show, the Scott Smith's All Animal show. I do the Wire show in Madison. There's a Sewer Fest show coming up in Racine. So they can find me at any of these reptile shows. They can certainly go to my website at supremegecko.com or just simply email me at supremegecko@supremegecko.com as well.
And you could also find them on our WCR page.
Of course.
Wally, you know, you have been very supportive of our group, and it's an honor to be able to interview you. When you start the breeding process, do you pick a specific time to breed? I mean, or is it a year-round process where you section it off? and put certain geckos in and just start incubating their clutches?
That's a great question. A lot of people do breed year-round, but for the leopard geckos and the crested geckos, we pick a season. And right now, since it's a little bit cooler in Wisconsin, we'll start cooling down our animals right at about this time. We'll keep them cool all the way until the end of January, and then we'll start warming them up again. So by the end of January and into February, we're getting excited and thinking about the animals that we're matching up, this male to this female, working with different colors. So our season starts generally at the end of January into February, and then we start getting eggs a couple months after that.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it was great talking to you, Wally. Thank you so much for your time. We're just going to pan out here real quick and take a look at Wally's table. As you can see, Wally is proud of his high quality of animal, and I've heard nothing but good things. I don't quite own a Wally Kern gecko just yet, but I plan on it very shortly. And you know, thank you again for your time, Wally.
My pleasure.
It's a pleasure talking to you always.
Thank you. Go Blackhawks, go Windy City, and go Supreme Gecko.
I'm Gecko Gutierrez for WCR Spotlight. Bye, everybody.